Welcome back to the On the Hill HVAC channel. Today is going to be a video kind of about motors. I'm not going to go in depth about what motors are and what they do, but I am going to talk about a couple of the parts, and we're actually going to look inside this motor. I've always wanted to do this, so I'm excited about this. But before we start, I want to say a quick thanks to Cooper Service Company in Easley for providing these old motors for me to go through. And also, I want to invite you to like and subscribe to the channel. The more you subscribe, the more you like, the more these videos get promoted, the more content we can create, and the more chances of giveaways happening. So let's dive into this motor. As you can see, I've already taken the bolts out, but what we have is 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the back side they're secured by some nuts there. So basically 2 parts of a motor, a rotor and a stator. The rotor is going to be the portion that moves. This one's not moving right now. It was free spinning before I took the motor apart, but it's not now because of course I've taken it apart and messed with it. But the rotor is going to be the portion that moves. The stator is going to be the portion that stays still or stationary. So that's an easy way to remember that. But let's take this cover off and look. So this motor actually failed because of some burn up wires, and I would assume, and I've already seen, there's actually some burn up wires in here as well, some burn up windings. So we're gonna open this up and take a look at it. See if we can get this open here for you. There we go. So as I said before, we got the rotor here. That's going to be your portion that moves there. You got a bearing there, and your rotor, a couple bearings in here, but these bearings don't look too bad. We've got a little bit of corrosion there, but that's actually looks like it's from these wires that are in here that I'm going to show you in a minute. But lots of copper in these motors, lots of metal in these motors. But again, this is your rotor portion. That's the lid of the motor there that I took off. So before I show you the bad part, I'm going to show you this inside part. So most motors look like this. They've got some windings. Going to be lots of copper in these motors. So this is your stator portion right here. It stays still. Like I said earlier about the stator portion, it's going to be your back here. You can see some nice a little bit of debris and dust and some black stuff from those burn up windings I'm getting ready to show you. Actually, you can see we're still depositing some stuff out of this motor. So let's see here. Get your outside there, and that's actually the portion we saw. We walked up to the unit and we thought it was in defrost because it's winter here, and you know when heat pumps go into defrost, just the compressor runs and the fan doesn't run. Well, upon further inspection, and it didn't take long to see this, but these wires were actually severed because they were burnt up. So we said, well, there's one of the problems. So it was easy to diagnose that one. But if you look inside this motor here, look at those. Look at all that mess there. Look, you can actually see it coming apart there. Those windings. Whew, it looks real rough in there. So upon inspection too, the fan blades were bent a little as well. So what could have happened here is those fan blades hit something and they got bent and caused the blades to be moving uneven and caused the motor to also be over amping. And it's not good to have, you know, motors over amp because when they over amp they can overheat and stuff like this can happen. So most motors have an amp load rating. This one's tough to see here. I actually can't see this one there, but most motors have an amp rating. They have that on there for a reason. You want to check that amp load on those motors, especially after you install them. But if you're doing like let's say you're doing a planned maintenance, it's also good to check it there too. Make sure we're not over amping or anything. But you can see the complete difference between this side and the other side. We obviously had an issue here. So if you look at this other side, look how nice and and somewhat clean that looks. It actually looks pretty clean there. And then flip to this other side. That is rough looking right there, guys. We definitely can diagnose this as some shorted out or burn up windings on this condensing fan motor. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to release a video later, probably on motors. I'm actually going to go through the components in HVAC systems and explain what they are and kind of explain what they do. So, but thank you for watching today's video. I know it's a shorter one, short but sweet, and I think it's actually cool to be able to look inside a motor. I've always wanted to do this, and next, once we get an old compressor, I think we're going to try to cut one of those open too, to look in those. But again, thanks for watching the On the Hill HVAC channel. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can produce more content for you. Thank you.